Welcome to 5-Round MMA. Today we bring an action-packed episode as we interview MMA lightweight Kevin Bostick, and on top of that, we also have a preview of UFC On Fuel TV, Nogueira versus Werdum. Please welcome Alex Ramirez and Albert Cita.
Thank you very much. Our producer Guillermo C is back in the producer's chair. You all right, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Came lastly with that victory. Can't wait for Mexico.
You going to Mexico too now?
It's a possibility. I want to see him knock out JDS. Oh, he won by decision, but I want to see him knock out JDS
who
in
knows?
Mexico
Maybe
City.
we'll broadcast live from Mexico.
Maybe. We do have family out there, guys. So, we should have an action-packed show today. Interview, a preview of UFC On Fuel, Nogueira and Werdum. But as for right now, we got latest news and headlines. What do you got?
I got first Martin Kamen versus Carlos Condit just got announced.
This is a rematch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is actually Carlos Condit's first loss in the UFC and his first fight in the UFC. And this is actually the rise of Kamen. Remember, this is when Kamen started heating up. I think Condit believes that he won that fight. I think Condit believes that he's in a different level than Kamen. He just wants to show it.
So this isn't a dangerous fight for Condit, you think?
No, I think
Kamen's a skilled stand-up guy.
Kamen is the only one that has something to gain, and Condit has everything to lose.
So is that where he's at now, Condit? Just kind of like random fights? Is he like out of the title picture?
I think the thing is he has to really establish himself again to show that he still deserves the top 3 fighters in the world. And this is one big step because if he beats him, technically he erases a loss from UFC. So it's a big deal.
Kind of like Rory McDonald wanting to avenge his loss to Carlos Condit.
And as far as Kamen, this is a must win, or else he's about to get his walking papers.
You think so?
I don't think so.
I think it's
He
2
brings
fights
it.
away.
He brings it every fight, though.
He brings it, but he doesn't bring the wins, though.
Look at it took Lena Garcia 6 losses in a row.
That's true.
Dan Hardy is what?
He's up to 7, 8.
7 in a row now. He's still
With the wolf heart.
because he brings it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
So it's not that he's John Finch here. Come on.
So now we got Misha Tate calling out Kim Winslow, saying she sucks as a referee.
No, that's probably the best thing I ever heard Misha Tate say.
Well, I mean, I think it's some guys out there, or men, have been kind of wary of critical Kim Winslow because it's all like, why can't a woman official? You're just saying that because she's a woman referee. Well, actually, she does have some pretty weird stoppage.
And the best one that comes to mind is local fighter Bobby Green, which in the fight against Volkman, he took him down, got the mount, and then she stood him up.
Yeah.
It's uncalled for. I don't know. The average fan wouldn't stand that up.
Yeah.
Why? It made no sense.
And she's notorious for hold on, do you want me to stand him up? Do you want me to stand him up?
It's just those things that really, I don't know what Dana White has against Mazzagatti. I think Mazzagati's pretty good, actually.
Steve Mazzagatti.
But Kate wins like that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, there's late stoppages or early stoppages, but to straight up stand someone up when he has full mount position, he just got the full mount position or got the takedown, and he worked so hard for the takedown. You got to be kidding me, dude.
Yeah, I think because right now is the NBA playoff time. I think when you don't know the officials there, it's a good thing. And I kind of think sometimes when the officials are in the UFC, in the MMA especially, because these referees have their own personalities and they're kind of known.
Yeah.
I think it's really bad for the sport. I think. So
No, I agree.
I don't even want to know that. There's a reason why he's dressed in all black, so he blends in. I don't want to see him until after the match. So, but it is how it is. Misha Tate's calling like she sees it. A lot of people agree with her. Just afraid to say it.
So now there's a matchup in the making. It's not official yet, but it looks like Kong Lee will be facing Michael Bisping.
Anybody that has a potential chance of knocking out Michael Bisping, I'm all for it.
So, did Kung Lee call out Michael Bisping? Because there's been 6 or 7, maybe 8 fighters who've been calling out Michael Bisping.
Yeah, I think they're up to 10 that called out Michael Bisping.
Was he one of them? I don't know. I don't know how you keep track of it. It's do you call him out most? Because I know Luke Rockhold called him out recently. I can care
less who calls out Michael Bisping. I just want to see him get knocked out.
But whenever somebody loses in the middleweight division, the first thing they go to is their Twitter and they call out Michael Bisping.
Yeah.
This guy must have just been sitting on his couch, another alarm goes off. Oh, another fighter called him
Michael
out.
Bisping doesn't even need a manager. All he needs is Twitter.
Yeah. These guys always call him out. But it should be an interesting fight, I think. Not really. I think either one would get anything as far as title recognition, but
no, yeah, it doesn't even look like Kong Lee wants a belt.
Yeah.
He's more in it for
That's a good UFC on FX or UFC on Fox Sports card.
Yeah.
If it makes pay-per-view, I'll be surprised.
So then the last breaking news, we have UFC said they're looking to change their marijuana stand or their marijuana rules. from 50 ml to 150 ml.
So that's I don't partake in.
I don't partake in the
recreational
reefer,
cannabis,
but
so.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, what are you guys' thoughts on
the point is UFC needs to get their act together. Period. And this goes for every single disciplinary they have because it's ridiculous. Nick Diaz loses a fight, gets caught, gets a year suspension, and then he headlines his fight back on pay-per-view, right? And then we got Matt Riddle wins his fight, gets caught, gets I think he got a 6 month. I didn't even get.
Expresses his opinion about smoking marijuana,
and the guy gets fired.
Yeah. I mean, there are like so many inconsistencies when it comes to UFC's policy
His biggest problem was that because Matt Riddle said, if he wasn't on this stuff, he will murder his family or something like that. So a bad comment. Okay, Nick Diaz has a laundry list of bad comments, but hey, guess what? You're pay-per-view caliber, so I'll sweep it under the rug.
The whole UFC discipline policy has been completely jacked from
and the only reason I get real heated, and I think this is a big issue despite what Dana White says, the reason it's a big issue is because he keeps saying, I'm up there with NBA, NHL, NFL. Well, guess what? All these major companies have a strict guideline. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you're Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash. It doesn't matter who you are. You're going to get suspended. Yeah. There is a policy. There's a procedure that takes place.
Where there is in the UFC. If you're a bigger star, we'll let it slide.
Yeah, so just because you want, it's you either take the whole thing or don't take none of it. Yeah. If you want to be considered to be a true league, that's what you have to do.
Yeah. Another prime example of the whole favoring stars. Remember when Rashad Evans made the joke about Penn State?
Yeah.
Phil Davis. Right after the Penn State scandal, but yet Miguel Torres tweets out a joke from a TV show. And he gets fired. And Rashad
TV show that they later on promoted, because if you remember, Chael Sonnen and they did TV spots for it, and that was fine.
Yeah, but
there you go.
Inconsistencies in the UFC's policy keep creeping up every now and then, but hopefully they'll straighten it out. Is that it for latest news?
Yeah, that's it for latest news today.
All right, so stick around, guys. We'll have an interview with Kevin Bostick and call in, so stick around, hear that. All right, everybody, don't miss a beat. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and always check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by SportsScene.tv.net. Get your prep sports fix at SportsScene.tv.net.
In this corner, we have Kevin Bostick, brought to you by Honey Badger.
Hey, Kevin, Alex Ramirez here. I want to thank you for taking the time out to talk with us, man. Really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. Likewise.
Arthur, do us a favor, and can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you decided to get into the MMA game?
Well, originally I didn't even know very much about the sport. I was going to Mount San Antonio College to become an airplane mechanic.
Oh, wow.
And part of my general education, I had to take a PE class, so I decided to take a self-defense class, and it was Jeet Kune Do. The art that Bruce Lee made up.
Oh, wow.
And and I kind of just fell in love with the whole aspect of like training. And I told my wife that I was just going to take a year off and just pursue fighting, see if I could find a good school, which I did, Pimp It Fight Team. And I just told her like I was just going to take a year off and train. I was going to do one amateur fight, and if I was good, I was going to continue on. If not, then I was going to go back to school. And well, you see where I'm at now. So.
That's a wonderful story. This is Albert Cita, and can you speak a little bit more about your camp and your coaches?
We have the originator, Gerbo Nerney. He was undefeated. He used to fight a lot back in the days out in Japan and stuff. And we have a jiu-jitsu coach. His name is Peter Hahn. He's Wander Braga's first American black belt. Oh, wow. And my team, man, is awesome, dude. Like, we're not really a team. We're more like a family. Like, we all go to each other's, like, children's events and birthday parties and been to funerals. And, like, we're just like a family, because we spend more time with each other than we do with our actual families. So we have to get to know each other, and we have to, like, build a bond,
Yeah, I know you're in the early stages of your pro MMA career. Can you talk about the balance between like getting enough fights under your belt, but also being able to fight quality opponents? That way, you're learning, your skill in the cage. Like every fight's kind of a learning experience.
Yeah, like I'm trying to make it to the big league. Like I'm in this for the long haul, and like you said, finding quality opponents and fighting them is a challenge. But we don't wanna like get like give me fights. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it to the big league, and I don't want to make it to the big league by fighting like not worthy opponents and then get in there and just get worked. Like that's not my goal. Like my goal is to like become something in the sport and leave a legacy.
Okay. And then recently you had a tough fight that you actually won. Can you take us back and kind of let us know how it went? And, you did get an poked in the eye, or you had some sort of eye injury during the match. And did you guys have a game plan, and were you able to execute it?
Yeah, exactly what happened in the cage is exactly what we had game planned. We knew that he was a stand-up fighter, and we knew that it wasn't going to be an easy fight, and we knew that he was a durable opponent, and our game plan was to make it seem like we wanted to stand and bang with him. As soon as I get the opportunity, take him down to the ground. Because I've really been working a lot on my jiu-jitsu and control and all that stuff, so I knew that once I got him on the ground, that I'd be all right, and that's where I would dominate, and that's where I would win the fight at.
Yeah, that fight can also be seen on our YouTube channel. Just go in there on FiveRoundMMA, you can see Kevin Bostick's fight. During that fight, you executed your ground game very well. Is that the strongest part of your game, or do you think like your stand-up's better or your submission game? What do you think is like the strongest part of your game?
It's funny because I was just talking with my trainer about that, because when I first started out, my strong point was stand-up. Like I would hate to go to the ground. I lost a lot of fights on the ground, so I started basically just like focusing on my ground game, and now I think my ground game is stronger than my stand-up. So now I need to go back to the drawing board and get my stand-up. It's like an ongoing battle, up and down, like stand-up, ground game. So I'm trying to get even to where they're both like, evenly strong.
All right, and then just to switch gears a little bit, we always like to get the fighter's perspective. What do you think about the UFC lightweight division and like the rise of TJ Grant, for example?
The lightweight division has always been like a stacked division, like that's like my favorite division, and not just because I'm a lightweight, but like it's just exciting fights, and TJ Grant, man, like it's funny because like real hardcore MMA fans know about him, but like the basic like UFC fan doesn't really know who he was until that last fight, So it's just good, man, just to see like the progression of the sport, man. Like I'm just glad to be a part of it at this time,
Yeah.
Yeah. One more question before you go. We'll let you go. Like, how quickly do you want to get back in the cage again?
August 10th, man.
August 5th. Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight at the same place. Same
Okay.
promotions.
Submission Promotions. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm always active, man. I'm doing a jiu-jitsu tournament towards the end of this month, the LA International. Like after a fight, I take a week off because I'm a family man and I also have a full-time job. So I like to spend my a week after my fight with my family, just show them that they mean something to me too, and then I'm back at it, man.
Oh, wow, that's cool. We'll definitely keep an eye out for you. Keep us updated. We'd love to have you on again. It's real soon, Kevin. Thank you. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody before you go?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsors, All Pro Supplements, Check Construction, and Alert Security, and also to my team, the Fight Team, and Ronda Braga, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was Kevin Bostick.
All right, man, no problem. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
If you're an MMA fanatic, make sure you're wearing the proper MMA gear. The Madhouse clothing line, MMA all day. Go shop, themadhouse.com.
Now it's time for a preview of UFC on Fuel TV, Nogueira versus Werdum.
Now this is going to be the final clash of Tough Brazil 2, right?
Yeah.
Have you been keeping up with this?
No.
Neither have I. I don't even know what channel is it on.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw part of part one, and I'm not gonna lie. My biggest problem was the house. I didn't like the way it was built. I didn't like the way it was formatted and
Not
structured.
the decor. You didn't like
The decor wasn't right.
Too postmodern or what for your taste?
You think if it
More
was
of a-
on like a, let's say on FX or something like that, you would watch?
No, man. Like I told you, it's the house.
Well, first of all, he doesn't speak.
But is there any fighters
Well,
standing out or
he
anything
doesn't
like
speak
that?
Portuguese, first of all, so like he can't watch it right. But I don't know. Like usually, the first season was kind of promoted a lot more, wasn't it? Like
Yeah, I felt they really pushed that first season,
Yeah.
and then the second season they were kind of like, God, Brazil will watch it. It doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't care about the real U.S.
Yeah.
audience, right? So, but so this is gonna be the outcome of it. So a lot of the fighters are gonna be Brazilian natives. Any fight? I think I know one of your fights you want to highlight is in the 170-pound division. The welterweight is one of your boys, Erick Silva.
Yep. Big news here because look, Erick Silva, he is coming off of a controversial loss against John Fish.
But it was fight of the night, though, yeah.
Fight night performance, which I thought Erick Silva won as well. I mean, but if you have never seen Erick Silva fight, the guy is like an aggressive little beast. And I'll take it to the bank. I'll put him against GSP any day. Wow. I mean, since Warren McDonald doesn't want to step up, Erick Silva will for sure be the guy to dethrone the man.
But I mean, like, okay, he steamrolled through everybody, but ran into John Finch. Is this John Finch that good, or is Erick Silva not that good?
It's not, but it's like they said, the whole UFC jitters. I mean, I think he was in there to throw it down, and then he got like kind of the Hector Lombard thing where he got this hype, this build. His name's getting talked around, and also now he's concerned about, getting taken down. Now he's concerned about that. Before he didn't care, and I think the John Fitch was kind of just a wake-up moment saying, look, listen, I got to get back to what I'm good at, and I got to do why I was being taught to in the first place. So, I mean, he's riding – well, technically he's 2-2 in the UFC, which is pretty ridiculous. It should be 3-1.
Well, he had that
controversial
loss. He had that
controversial
I mean, he wasn't even supposed to be a loss. I don't know what the ref was thinking there. Yeah. But he is fighting Jason High, who's fighting. He's in a 6-fight win streak. Okay. He's coming off the Strikeforce, so the caliber of fighters isn't really there. I think as far as for Jason High against Erick Silva, I think Erick Silva is going to do a big performance, and I think it's going to be good because this guy's 6-fight win streak. So
what do you think Jason High is going to do in this fight?
Honestly, I don't know because like Erick Silva is a beast, and he has to go to Brazil to fight him.
That's the hard part.
Erick
I think that's the biggest advantage is that he's fighting in Brazil.
I think it also happened with remember we had Mike Grillo on. He had to go to Brazil to fight too, and that kind of threw him off. I think too. Mike Grillo obviously won't admit it, but like going to a different country you've never been before, like a week before the fight, you got to try to get a new routine.
Even he said like, where am I going to eat?
Yeah,
where am I going to do?
I got to find a gym.
Yeah, these fighters have a certain routine that they like to do before fight, after fight.
But you don't see a strength in Jason High's repertoire that he can beat Erick Silva?
Not really. I think it's step up competition is a big one.
Yeah.
So,
and John Fitch is the best in the business. So even if Jason High tries to go and take him down, John Fitch was the best. So and he was able to pop back and also defend that takedowns.
So the co-main event, I think Thiago Silva, who he's fought right recently.
I wouldn't say recently. Well, November of 2012.
But that was, I think he got
marijuana.
So he's a 2-time
Yeah,
offender.
it was in China, and he got caught with marijuana, and they suspended him. Not fire him. They suspended him.
That was his second drug offense, right? Because he after he broke Brandon Vera's face, he failed a drug test for PEDs. Yes. So a long layoff. I think he was injured. Mm-hmm. Fought again. Lost to Alexander Gustafsson. Got suspended for marijuana. Now he's back co-main event in Brazil.
There you go.
The road to success in the UFC. You want a co-main event? Follow Thiago Silva's career path.
And he's fighting a big opponent, actually.
Raphael Calavante.
Yeah, and I really want him to stay in the UFC, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name right now.
Okay.
Maybe when I get to know him a little bit better. But
Raphael's also coming off a drug suspension, too.
He failed against Mike Kyle.
Yeah, his last Strikeforce, I believe,
and he was a Strikeforce champion, too.
Yeah. So 2 drug offenders are co-main event in Brazil.
Yep, there you go. He trains off of a Black House, Raphael.
Yeah.
But
Thiago Silva is infamously with the Black Zillions in Florida. Mm-hmm. I always see him kicking it in the backgrounds, and Alistair Overeem's shot at him in his videos. Like, there's just Thiago Silva with his sunglasses in the gym.
But ultimately, this is a pretty interesting fight. 2 guys that were on PEDs. Let's see how they do without it.
And mind you, remember a few years ago, Thiago Silva and Machida were both fighting for number one contendership. They were both undefeated. Machida eventually won that one, but this guy was.
Went on to Rashad Evans.
He's also main evented against Rashad Evans too. So he was actually on a roll, to become a star, but he ended up being his own worst enemy. Got to stay off the drugs. But I think it should be. A pretty good fight.
It should be a good fight because both of these guys like to bring it. Yeah. They both can stand up, and technically both can go to the ground too.
Yeah.
So now we got Big Knob versus Werdum in the main event. Who wins, first of all, and then what's in store for the winner?
Well, I think this fight is bigger to them two than
anybody else.
Yeah, because I honestly think that they think if they win this, they're right in line for a title shot, which is completely false. Because as I think we all pretty much agree. And then the heavyweight division is a two-man race, like
Yes.
you said earlier, Guillermo. Because let's say, okay, hypothetically, Werdum wins. He can't piggyback over JDS because JDS knocked him out of the UFC.
Yep.
And let's say if Big Nog wins, we all remember what happened, what Kane did to him. So it's like, okay, they're just going to win to stay relevant and winning just for winning's sake. As far as
And they'll still be a win away from even challenging for King's
and this
belt.
a Big Nog got his arm broken by Frank Mir. So it's like,
And where's Frank Mir at?
yeah, he just lost
Yeah.
his down.
Do you guys see this as a jiu-jitsu match, or do you see any type of standing?
I really wish it could turn into a jiu-jitsu match. That'll be kind of entertaining. Werdum jiu-jitsu versus Nogueira jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think Werdum's going to try to make it a point to keep it standing up because I think he's trying to evolve his stand-up, and I think that loss to JBS so many years ago.
Everybody knows that is his weak point, the stand-up. He did show against Roy Nelson that he has been practicing and improving.
Yeah.
And I think if he could knock out Big Nog, which I think he probably could because Big Nog isn't the old Big Nog no more. I mean, he's been beat with the bat in the, so I think the knockout or the TKO victory is there for Werdum, and I think he like you said, he will try to keep it standing up, but it'll be pretty cool to see a good jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah, interesting fight, but I don't think I make a
So
big impact.
now let's go back to our picks. Who do you guys see winning? There's only two notable fights you guys are really interested in. Who wins? Co-main event: Thiago Silva versus Raphael Calavarte.
I'm just gonna go with Calavante Raphael. I think he. I don't know. I have a feeling in my gut.
Yeah, I got the same thing, same feeling. I think we ate at the same place last night because Raphael Cavalante, I got him winning as well.
Yeah, I got Raphael as well. Now we have Big Nog versus Werdum. Who do you guys see winning?
I'm going to go with Werdum. He's on a roll. I think he has a lot more to prove than Big Nog. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at Big Nog because whenever you people count him out, he always seems to rise to the occasion. But I'm going with Werdum.
I'm going to have to go do the same thing and go for Werdum just because, like I told you, what he did to Roy Nelson, I mean, I did see a big improvement as far as stand-up. Big Nog, it's crazy. He's actually gone backwards in his stand-up where he was someone to be he was a big threat standing up. And little by little, it's kind of like, well, that's not much of his power gain, especially since the way he's been getting rocked.
Yeah, true.
I'll just switch it up. I'll go Big Nog. I think that it's going to be a jiu-jitsu match, and the best jiu-jitsu will win. And after that arm break from Frank Mir, I think he's really going to show what his jiu-jitsu is capable of.
Well, we'll see.
Unless he gets his other arm broken.
Or leg. You never know. I mean, Werdum did tap out Fedor, so.
There you go.
Sure. Is that it for today?
Yeah, that's it for today.
All right, that's it. I want to thank a big thank you to Kevin Bostick for the awesome interview. Make sure to follow him on Facebook, and you guys will see his fight that he fought a few weeks ago under Submission Promotions on our YouTube channel. So check that out. Great fight. I want to thank MMA All Day, Madhouse Clothing Line. Go shop at madhouse.com. Thank you to Top Rated MMA. Follow them at Top Rated. And you guys can follow last words.
I just want to thank our executive producer, Guillermo Cita, our sound engineer, Ollie the Trolley, our technician, Big Game.
Make sure to also follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA. Check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com.
And a special thank you to Honey Badger.
Honey Badger Energy Supplement Drinks. Great stuff, guys.